Hello! In this video I want to implement a camera for the game. This will allow me to define what is viewed at the center of the screen in world coordinates. This is going to improve the visual presentation for this game by quite a bit, because right now it is a little bit boring that everything is happening in the corner of the screen, so let's change that. Let's start by making a new class and giving it two variables, one for the centered world X and one for the centered world Y. This also needs a method for updating what is viewed, so let's add that. We also need some getters so that we can know what the camera is currently looking at. We can auto-generate these. All getters please. Okay. Now before we progress, I want to show you how this camera is going to work and how it's going to help in our rendering of the game. Okay, now pretend that the blue box is our viewport, our entire window. The grid is our tile map, and the orange X is the center of the screen, and the green X is where the world begins. Now for rendering, we are mostly interested in where the world begins, so let's try to find out if we can deduct how to get the green X's position in screen coordinates. In this case, our camera is looking at 1, 1. We should note that it's 1, 1. Great. Now we can find the orange X position by taking the entire width of the viewport and then halving it. This goes for both directions here. And then if we subtract this distance, which is going to be our camera's X coordinate, times the scaled size of our tile here, we can get the X position for where the world starts. And if we do the same for the Y, then we suddenly have this entire coordinate set. So let's implement this and replace our current rendering code. Okay, I'm getting the viewport size by going through GDX graphics, and then we can half that. Actually, let's make this a float so we don't get these weird rounding errors. And then we subtract the, oh, we don't have a camera. Let's make a camera. Let's make sure that the camera is always showing where the player is, so we can update the camera. And this is world coordinates now. So if we take the player, we can get the X. And then if we want to get the center of the player, we should add another half to get the center of the tile he's standing on. Okay, now we can subtract the camera's X times how large our tiles are, and we could do the same for Y. Now down here in the rendering code we only have to add the world start X, because we're already rendering at 0, 0. And world start Y. We do the same for our player. Now something's wrong here. I wonder what's wrong. Let's go in the camera. Looks to be fine. Looks to be fine in here too now. Guess it just needed a save. Now let's take a look and see how it looks. This doesn't look right. So I noticed up here that I take half the height for both the X and the Y. For the Y it should of course be the height. So let's change that and see if that makes it better. It does. Now we follow the player around, and if we make the player's movement smooth, then the camera will also smooth out in the process. So awesome. Well, that's it for the camera. Thank you for watching.